You don't start cooking for Diwali 2 days before the festival because the old school approach is to get going about a month in advance with preparing the snacks. Of course, the actual day will be celebrated with a big family meal, and Mela's resident chef, Yudhika Sujanani, is preparing an absolute feast with a contemporary twist.
Traditional meals are favoured over Diwali, but every now and then I surprise my family and my friends with a more contemporary menu. Making an appearance on my Diwali table this year, I've got spiced salmon with hints of coconut and ginger, a vegetable jalfrezi. I'm serving the meals with a saffron pilau, and then for dessert, a decadent creamy gulaab jamun cheesecake. First, I'm starting off with the gulaab jamun cheesecake. I've got 600 grams of gulaab jamun, and I'm also using some tennis biscuits for this. First, just break those up, and you can see they soak through. They're still quite moist. And pop them in. And now some tennis biscuits. Just also crumble those into the food processor. The bowl's full, that's the last one. And now pop the lid back on and blitz this. That's ready. For this, I'm using a 10-inch cake tin. It is a loose bottom cake tin. It makes it quite easy to get the cheesecake out. And drop the crumbs into the base of the cake tin. There are a few lumpy bits in the base mixture. Just crumble that in with your fingertips and then just start to press down. I've got about a tablespoon of butter here. So just rub that over your fingertips and then press down. Starting out with the filling, the first thing, some cold water going into a little pot. I'm using gelatine for this, and I've got 30 ml of gelatine. Sprinkle that over the cold water. Swirl that around, and I'm going to leave that to sponge up. Now, I've got 4 egg yolks in the top of a double boiler. Turn up the heat to medium and whisk that. And now sugar, 190 ml, going into 4 egg yolks. Work the sugar in. And now pour in the lemon juice. Gently whisk that in. The gelatine's now ready. Let's heat that up on a gentle heat just to melt those grains. That's now ready. Pour that into the egg mixture and gently work that in. The sugars dissolve slightly. I don't like having raw egg in cheesecake, so I always prefer cooking it over a double boiler. Now, double thick Greek yogurt. This is a rich, creamy dessert. Next, we have full fat cream cheese. Break down the cream cheese. The heat's going to slightly melt the cream cheese into the egg. Going to swap back to a whisk now. And now remove that from the hot water. And fresh cream going in. And work that through. Now to flavor this, I'm using lemon rind and some ground cardamom, just picking up on those flavors. The last ingredient going in, egg white, and I've whisked this up with 250 ml of sugar until it's stiff, looks a bit like a cloud. And this is what makes the cheesecake super light. The filling's ready. Pour that into the prepared tin. Scrape the bowl. Pop this into the refrigerator for about 8 hours or overnight preferably. While the cheesecake's in the refrigerator, I'm starting out with the vegetable jalfrezi. First ingredient into the pan, sunflower oil. I've preheated the pan already. And now cumin seeds. Turn up the heat and fry those off. Sliced onion, And to the onion, add a teaspoon of coarse salt. Now in goes some green chili, 2 sliced green chilies, and then about a teaspoon of crushed garlic on the side of the pan, and this prevents it from hitting the oil and burning. 2 teaspoons of red chili powder, also on the side of the pan. In goes some tomatoes. Spice this up. First, 2 teaspoons of coriander. I'm using roasted coriander, so you don't need to fry it off in oil. And a teaspoon of garam masala. And a pinch of turmeric. If you're using unroasted spices, you need to fry it off in the oil first. And then you add the vegetables. These are par-cooked vegetables. I've blanched them in boiling water. And then refresh them quickly in iced water. You can use whichever vegetables you enjoy. That's quite thick, it's cooked down beautifully. Now, some water. Then, some frozen peas. Common ingredient in a jalfrezi, whether you're having a chicken or a prawn or a meat one, is green peppers, red ones and yellow ones too. You can fry these off and add them at the end. I love the flavor of them raw. Now some ginger juliennes going in. Sprinkle those over. And then kasuri methi. This is dried fenugreek, and you can find it at Indian supermarkets or spice stores, and that's our veggie jalfrezi done. A feast would not be complete without a pilau rice, and today I'm making saffron pilau. For that, sunflower oil into a pan, bay leaf and cinnamon stick going in, and then some cumin seeds. Sliced onion, season the onion with some salt, about 1.5 teaspoons. Now stir in some basmati rice. Be gentle, you don't want to break the grains of the rice. Pour in some cold water. Loosen any grains that are stuck to the bottom of the pan. I've got some saffron here. Drop that. The par-cooked potatoes. I've quartered these and fry them off. The potatoes are going to soak up that saffron liquid. And next, brown lentils. Pop that on top. And cover this pan with a tight-fitting lid. Leave it to simmer on a low heat for about 10 minutes. Now for the spiced salmon, I'm starting out with some coriander seeds, and I've toasted these already. They go into a mortar. And then roasted cumin seeds, black pepper, a teaspoon of salt, use a pestle, and just crush those seeds. Place the fish into a baking tray or a pan lined with some baking paper. I'm using salmon this time, but any firm fish will do. And normally I'm quite a fan of hake, but it's a bit too soft for this recipe. Now, green chili. Sprinkle a little chili over the salmon. And red chili flakes, about 2 teaspoons. Now the aromatic pounded spices. This is really fragrant. Ginger juliennes on top of each piece of salmon. Lemon juice. Just about a teaspoon going over each piece. Lastly, some coconut milk. Just drizzle that over quite gently. Sunflower oil. Just a touch going over this. That's the last little drizzle of sunflower oil going on top. Bake this off at 200 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. This is my Diwali feast with a contemporary twist. I've got spiced salmon, vegetable jalfrezi. It's going with the saffron pilau rice and the decadent creamy gulaab jamun cheesecake. I've garnished that with pieces of crumbled gulaab jamun, roasted pistachios and almonds, and from me, have a fabulous Diwali.